Have you ever noticed how one thought can ruin your entire day? You wake up feeling fine, then a thought appears. What if I fail? What if they do not respect me? What if I never become the person I want to be? And suddenly, your mind becomes a prison. Nothing around you has changed. The room is the same. Your life is the same. But inside your head there is chaos. You replay old mistakes. You imagine future disasters. You give power to people who are not even in the room. And the worst part is this. You start believing every thought you have. But not every thought deserves your trust. Some thoughts are fear wearing the mask of logic. Some are old wounds asking for attention. Some are simply habits your mind has repeated for so long that they now feel like the truth. The Stoics understood this thousands of years ago. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in Rome, wrote something that can change the way you live. Your life becomes what your thoughts make it. That means your peace is not destroyed by the world first. It is destroyed by the meaning you give to the world. Someone ignores you and your mind says, "I'm not important." You make one mistake and your mind says, "I always fail." You see someone else succeed and your mind says, "I am behind." But these are not facts. They are interpretations. And if you do not learn to control your thoughts will control your emotions, your choices, your confidence, your relationships, and eventually your entire life. The strongest people are not people who never feel fear, anger, doubt, or sadness. They are people who do not let those feelings take control of the mind. They pause. They observe. They choose what deserves their energy. In this video, you will learn how to stop being a prisoner of your own mind. You will discover Stoic habits that help you control overthinking, silence self-doubt, protect your peace, and become mentally stronger when life tries to shake you. Because the moment you master your thoughts, you stop being controlled by everything outside of you. And that is where real freedom begins. Most people try to control the world because they have never learned to control themselves. They want people to understand them. They want life to go according to plan. They want every message answered, every effort rewarded, every relationship to remain stable. But life does not make those promises. People will misunderstand you. Plans will fail. Someone you trusted may disappoint you. You may work hard and still not get the result you wanted. And when you build your peace on things you cannot control, your mind will always be at war. This is why Epictetus began his Stoic teaching with one powerful truth. Some things are within your control, and some things are not. Your thoughts are not always your choice. A fearful thought can appear without permission. An angry memory can return when you least expect it. A painful image of the future can suddenly enter your mind. But what you do after that thought appears is your choice. You can feed it. You can repeat it. You can build a story around it until it becomes bigger than reality. Or you can pause and say, "This is only a thought." It is not a command. That pause changes everything. Imagine your mind as a crowded street. Thoughts are like people walking past you. Some are kind, some are loud, some are trying to pull your attention. But you do not have to follow every stranger down the street. In the same way, you do not have to follow every thought into fear. A thought says, "You are not good enough." You do not need to argue with it for an hour. You simply need to recognize it. A thought says, "They will judge you." You do not need to let it stop you. You can let it pass and still take action. A thought says, "Something bad will happen." You can ask yourself, is this happening now? Or is my mind creating suffering before life has even arrived? This is the Stoic difference. Weakness is not having negative thoughts. Everyone has them. Weakness is giving every negative thought the authority to decide who you are. Your mind may produce fear, but you do not have to become fear. Your mind may produce anger, but you do not have to become anger. Your mind may produce doubt, but you do not have to stop moving forward. The first step toward mental strength is simple. Stop treating every thought like the truth. Because when you create distance between yourself and your thoughts, you finally become the one in control. The first Stoic habit is to question the thought before you obey it. Most suffering begins when we react too quickly. Someone speaks to you coldly, and your mind immediately says, "They do not respect me." You see a friend succeed and your mind says, I am falling behind. You make a small mistake and your mind says, I have ruined everything. But before you react, ask yourself one question. Is this a fact or is this my interpretation? That question can save you from years of unnecessary pain. A fact is simple. They did not reply to my message. An interpretation is emotional. They are ignoring me because I do not matter. Do you see the difference? The fact may be true, but the story you build around it may be completely false. Maybe they are busy. Maybe they are dealing with something personal. Maybe they simply did not see the message. Yet your mind creates a painful explanation before you have any proof. This is how people lose their peace. They do not suffer only from what happened. They suffer from the meaning they attach to what happened. Marcus Aurelius trained himself to return to reality. He reminded himself not to add opinions too quickly, because the moment you add a negative story to an event, you give the event more power than it deserves. When something triggers you, slow down. Do not let your first thought become your final belief. Say to yourself, what do I actually know? Not what you fear, not what your past is telling you, not what your insecurity wants you to believe. What do you actually know? This habit is especially powerful when you overthink relationships. Your mind may tell you someone is losing interest. Your mind may tell you someone is trying to use you. Your mind may tell you that you need to fix everything right now. But a strong mind does not chase every fear. It waits for evidence. This does not mean you become cold or unaware. It means you become clear. You stop reacting to imagined problems and start responding to real ones. And that gives you power, because people who control their thoughts are difficult to manipulate. They do not panic when someone changes their tone. They do not beg for reassurance every time they feel uncertain. They do not destroy their own confidence with assumptions. They observe first. They think clearly. Then they act. The next time your mind creates a painful story, do not immediately believe it. Pause. Separate the fact from the fear. And remember, a thought can feel real without being true. The second Stoic habit is to stop arguing with reality inside your mind. A large part of overthinking is not caused by the event itself. It is caused by resistance. This should not have happened. They should not have treated me this way. My life should be further ahead by now. I should not feel like this. But the more you fight what has already happened, the more power you give it. You cannot change a message that was sent. You cannot change a mistake you made last year. You cannot force someone to become loyal, mature, or honest. You cannot control how quickly life gives you the result you want. Reality does not become easier because you refuse to accept it. The Stoics called this acceptance of the present moment. Not because they wanted you to become passive, but because they wanted you to stop wasting energy on battles you cannot win. Acceptance is not saying this is good. It is saying this is real. Now what will I do? That is strength. When you lose something, accept that it is gone before deciding what comes next. When someone shows you their character, accept what you have seen before making excuses for them. When life delays your plans, accept the delay before choosing your next move. The mind becomes exhausted when it keeps asking life to be different from what it is. Think about how much peace you would have if you stopped replaying the same moment, trying to rewrite it in your head. The conversation is over. The opportunity has passed. The person made their choice. You do not need to carry it through every hour of your day. You only need to learn from it. Seneca believed that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. We create pain twice. Once when the event happens, and again when we replay it again and again. But you are not required to keep reopening the wound. You can face the truth without becoming bitter. You can accept disappointment without losing your self-respect. You can accept that something hurt you without letting it define you. The moment you stop saying, "Why did this happen to me?" and start asking, "What can this teach me?" your mind begins to change. You become less reactive, less desperate, less controlled by the past, and more focused on the only thing that still belongs to you, your next decision. Because your power is not in changing what happened. Your power is in refusing to let what happened control who you become. The third Stoic habit is to give your mind a clear direction before it creates its own. An undirected mind will almost always return to fear. If you have no purpose for the day, your thoughts will wander. They will revisit old pain, compare your life to someone else's, and search for problems that may not even exist. That is why discipline is not only about productivity, it is also about mental peace. When you wake up with a clear purpose, you give your mind something stronger than anxiety to focus on. You do not need to have your entire life figured out. You only need to know what matters today. Maybe it is finishing one important task. Maybe it is training your body. Maybe it is having one difficult conversation with honesty. Maybe it is choosing not to respond emotionally. Maybe it is spending 1 hour building the life you keep saying you want. Small disciplined actions bring order to a noisy mind. When your thoughts say you are not doing enough, action gives you an answer. When your thoughts say you will never change, consistency proves them wrong. When your thoughts say your life is out of control, one focused decision reminds you that you still have power. This is why the Stoics valued daily practice. They did not wait to feel motivated. They trained their minds through repeated action. Marcus Aurelius wrote reminders to himself every morning because he understood something important. The mind must be guided. If you do not guide it, your fears will. Start asking yourself each morning, what is one thing I can control today? Not 10 things, not your entire future. One thing, then do it with full attention. If you can control your effort, control it. If you can control your words, control them. If you can control your reaction, control it. If you can control your habits, control them. This is how you slowly build a mind that trusts itself. And self-trust is one of the strongest forms of confidence. You no longer need constant motivation from others because you have evidence that you can rely on yourself. You said you would wake up early, and you did. You said you would stop chasing people, and you did. You said you would work even when you did not feel like it, and you did. Each small promise you keep becomes proof. Proof that your thoughts are not your master. Proof that your emotions do not control your actions. Proof that you are becoming the person you once needed. And when your mind has proof of your strength, it becomes much harder for fear to convince you that you are weak. The fourth Stoic habit is to protect your mind from what weakens it. Not every thought begins inside you. Some thoughts are planted by the people you spend time with, by the content you consume, by the arguments you keep returning to, by the voices that make you doubt yourself. If you constantly watch people showing perfect lives, your mind will begin to feel behind. If you constantly listen to negativity, your mind will begin to expect the worst. If you stay close to people who disrespect you, your mind may start believing that disrespect is what you deserve. This is why protecting your peace is not selfish. It is necessary. A strong mind is not built only by what you think. It is built by what you allow into your life. Ask yourself honestly, what is feeding my anxiety? Who makes me question my worth? What am I consuming every day that leaves me feeling weaker, angrier, or more distracted? You do not need to hate anyone. You do not need to announce that you are changing. You simply need to become more selective. Less noise, less comparison, less access for people who only bring chaos. More silence, more time alone with your own thoughts, more space to become clear about who you are and what you want. For many people, silence feels uncomfortable because silence reveals the thoughts they have been trying to escape. But silence is not your enemy. Silence is where you finally hear yourself. When you stop filling every quiet moment with your phone, music, messages, or other people's opinions, your mind begins to settle. You start noticing what truly matters. You see which worries are real and which ones were only noise. You remember goals that distraction made you forget. You begin to hear the voice of reason again. This does not mean you must isolate yourself from the world. It means you must stop giving the world unlimited access to your mind. Your attention is valuable. Your energy is valuable. Your inner peace is valuable. Do not hand them to everyone. The Stoic person is not cold. They are careful. They understand that not every invitation deserves a yes. Not every argument deserves a response. Not every opinion deserves a place in their mind. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is close the door, put down the phone, sit in silence, and return to yourself, because a mind protected from noise becomes strong enough to hear the truth. Your thoughts will always try to speak first. Fear will tell you to stay small. Anger will tell you to react. Doubt will tell you to quit. The past will tell you that you cannot change. But you do not have to obey any of them. That is the lesson of Stoicism. You may not control every thought that enters your mind. You may not control what other people do, what life takes from you, or how quickly things change. But you can control what you give your attention to. You can control the story you tell yourself. You can control whether you react immediately or pause with strength. You can control whether you spend your day trapped in fear or focused on the next action that makes you better. Real mental strength is not having a perfect mind. It is having the discipline to return to your values whenever your mind becomes chaotic. When fear appears, return to the facts. When the past hurts, accept what happened and choose your next move. When overthinking begins, focus on one thing you can control. When the world becomes too loud, protect your peace and return to silence. Do this again and again, and you will become someone who cannot be easily shaken. Not because life becomes easy, but because your mind becomes stronger. One day, you will notice that the things which once controlled you no longer have the same power. The opinion that once ruined your day will become just noise. The mistake that once filled you with shame will become a lesson. The fear that once stopped you will become proof of how far you have come. That is what happens when you stop fighting your mind and start training it. You become calmer, you become clearer, you become harder to manipulate, and you finally become free. Remember this, your thoughts are visitors. You are the one who decides which ones are allowed to stay. Master your thoughts before they master you. If this video helped you, comment "Master My Mind" below. And subscribe to the Stoic Edge for more Stoic wisdom, mental strength, discipline, and inner peace. Keep mastering your mind.